ladies and gentlemen, under what I would consider to be a wind tunnel condition, we welcome you tonight to the campus of Atlee High School as we begin softball week here on the RVA Sports Network. 3 nights of top 10 softball action. And we begin at Atlee High School, where the number 2 ranked Atlee Raiders, coming in with a record of 5-1 after that incredible 2-0 9-inning thriller here at home on Friday night against the now number 1 team in our poll, the Lee Davis Confederates. Welcome in the 6th ranked 4-1 Glen Allen Jaguars. Rob Witham along with you, and we are set for action, underway a few minutes early. We cannot begin to try to describe to you the wind conditions this afternoon. They are sustained winds. I would guess at 20 to 25 miles an hour, gusting upwards of 40 at times, and they are blowing directly in from center field here into our broadcast position. So we apologize in advance. You're going to hear a lot of wind noise here on our broadcast tonight. We get started. Laura Kate Moss is in the circle tonight for the Raiders. And the first pitch to Maddie Stone, the leadoff hitter for Glen Allen, is a called strike 1 on the inside corner. These two teams, former Capital District rivals. Next pitch from Moss is grounded foul to the Jaguar side of the field, and the count is quickly 0-2. But as of September, it was Patrick Henry, Glen Allen switching districts. Glen Allen now in the Colonial, so therefore they don't meet the Capitals any longer in home and home. Atlee, Lee Davis, etc. They've played Lee Davis already. They play Atlee here tonight. They've got Patrick Henry a week from Wednesday. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and Stone goes down for the first out of inning number 1, and Moss registers her first K of the afternoon. And that'll bring up Cameron Steinruck, the second baseman. Lone loss for the Jags was the Thursday before spring break when they lost at home to number 1 Lee Davis, 4-1 the final. They've won all of the other games so far on their schedule. Again, they come in at 4-1, the Raiders at 5-1. First pitch from Moss is high for ball 1 to Steinruck. On deck, the catcher, Cammie Brummett, as we're just getting underway here at Atlee High School, and a brief lull in the wind, and we'll enjoy it for the moments that it exists. 1-0 deliveries. Swing and a line shot down the left field line, but foul, and the left fielder Riley Satterwhite will go chase it down and bring it back in, and the count's even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Glad you're with us tonight for the first of 3 this week. Weather permitting, at Lee Davis tomorrow night. If the rain gets out of here in time and the field's in good shape, as they've got number 8 Mills Godwin coming in for a 6 p.m. game. 1-1 delivery is low, and the count 2-1 on Steinruck. And then Thursday night, we'll see these Jaguars again when number 5 Clover Hill makes the trek across the river. Cavaliers and Jaguars on Thursday at 6 p.m. Looking forward to having the Cavs here on the network. Next pitch, line shot left field. Satterwhite goes to it. 1 hopper, and it'll fall in for a base hit. 1 out single for Steinruck, falls just in front of the running Satterwhite near the left field line. And that'll bring up the catcher, Cammie Brummett, with 1 out and now 1 on here in the top of the first inning. And again, Laura Kate Moss getting the start tonight for the Atlee Raiders. Peyton St. George in the lineup as the designated player. First pitch, swing and a miss, and Brummett quickly down 0-1. Julia Fritz, tonight's starting pitcher, and the ace of the Jaguar staff, the lefty on deck, waiting for her turn at bat. 0-1 is tapped down the first base line, foul. And Brummett is quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes. We mentioned the wind speed. What we forgot to tell you is that it is blowing directly in from center field, through the field, and right here behind us behind home plate. And it is a very, very fierce breeze blowing. 0-2 pitch. Needs the corner, can't quite nip it, and it's 1-2. As the catcher, Rain Wilson, sets up a bit outside. Turns around, talks to the home plate umpire, as she is wont to do. 1-2 the count now. On Brummett with Steinruck, the runner at first, 1 away, top 1. Next pitch, pop up, Barrett trying to get it. It's going to fall in the infield. Steinruck's going to get caught, so they'll get the force at second as She could not get a start, thinking Casey might be able to make the catch and didn't want to get doubled up to end the inning. So the little pop behind the circle, Barrett handles it and gets the force at second. Brummett replaces her at first. They opt not to use a designated or courtesy runner for Cammie the catcher. And the pitcher, Julia Fritz, now to bat with 2 out and a runner on first here in the top of inning number 1. Moss set, fires, misses outside and low, 1-0 the count. We'll set the full lineups for you when we get to the half inning. Fritz, the number 4 hitter in the Jaguar order. Next pitch is high and gets away from the top of Wilson's mitt, and Brummett's going to head to second on the passed ball. Charge to Wilson. So the Jags have a runner in scoring position here with 2 out in the top of inning number 1. We do have some broadcast contingency plans in case we are rained out tomorrow. We'll talk about them as the evening progresses as well. And we've added a broadcast as well. Moss's next pitch, swing and a miss. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Julia Fritz. Should the inning continue, Lauren, Goldman, the first baseman, is on deck for Glen Allen. Moss is ready, delivers the 2-1, misses high. Throw down to second, Brummett back safely, and the count now is 3 balls and 1 strike on Fritz. With 2 out, top 1, just underway, no score here at Atlee. Moss is ready, delivers, swing and a miss, and we go full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Beautiful pitch right on the outside corner. Wilson's setting herself up here behind the plate perfectly. 3-2. Brummett will take off from second with 2 out. The pitch from Moss. Swing and a liner into right field. Playable for O'Flaherty, and she's got it for the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, and 1 runner left on base. And we go to the bottom of the 1st inning with no score. Here on Softball Week, on the Game of the Week. Let's set the lineups for you. First for the Jags, Stone is at short. She batted first. Steinruck at second. She batted second. Then it's Brummett, the catcher, Fritz in the circle. Goldman, the first baseman, will lead off next half inning. Ashley Wilson is in is in right field. Brittany Street at third base. Katie Hedrick at left. And the number 9 hitter for Glen Allen will be Ashley Haley. She's in center. Lineup this evening for Atlee. Kelly Warren, the speedy center fielder, will lead off. Casey Barrett at short will bat second. Rain Wilson, the catcher, third. Taylor Sandiford goes from 5 to 4 in the order, and she'll hit cleanup, the third baseman. St. George, the designated player, as we mentioned, bats fifth. Mallory Fadil will be the first baseman batting sixth. Moss, the pitcher, bats seventh. O'Flaherty in right bats eighth. Jordan Durbin, the second baseman, bats ninth. And tonight's flex player in center, as we mentioned earlier, on the single that dropped in for Steinruck, is Riley Satterwhite. And those are your starting lineups tonight for the Jaguars and the Raiders as we go bottom one. And brief delay as Cammie Brummett, the catcher, of course, was on second at the end of the inning. So it takes a moment for her to get her catcher stuff on. And now we'll start the warm-ups with Fritz. Baseball action. It'll be Glen Allen and Atlee. To our left, we turn around and we look. Jags are out taking some batting practice. Glen Allen rose to number 2 in our top 10 poll release last night. Atlee moved into the poll for the first time this season. They were not in the inaugural poll. They've won 8 of their last 9 games, including a 9-inning walk-off 5-4 win against Lee Davis on Friday night. And so the Raiders will play as a ranked team for the first time this season. First pitch over there in 55 minutes at 7 p.m. And we're ready. Kelly Warren approaches the plate here as we begin the bottom of inning number 1.
Number 3, Kelly Warren.
Winds died down a little bit, and again, we apologize for the noise that it's creating tonight on the broadcast. It's completely inevitable as we are in the elements outdoors. Fritz's first delivery, bunt strike as Warren misses, and it'll be 0-1. For our money, Kelly Warren is the fastest softball player in the Central region and one of the fastest we've ever witnessed. Tell you about a play she had Friday night that was downright unreal. Ground ball to short, quick throw to first is high. It takes Goldman off the bag, and Warren's speed causes an error on the shortstop Stone, and Kelly's aboard at first base.
Now stepping to the plate, number 8, Casey Barrett.
And that'll bring up the shortstop, Casey Barrett. Friday night, she had a routine ground ball to second to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning in the 0-0 tie, and she beat the throw. An amazing play by her. She ended up stranded at second. She'll immediately go for the stolen base. Brummett drops the ball as she tries to cock and throw, and it'll be an easy stolen base for Kelly Warren, and she's at scoring position, second base with nobody out, and the junior Casey Barrett at bat with a verbal commitment to the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Next pitch, called strike. And quickly the count against Barrett is 0-2 with Warren at second and nobody out. No score here, bottom 1. Number 2, Atlee, and number 6, Glen Allen. Fritz the lefty is ready, and she delivers. Just tapped foul by Barrett to stay alive at no balls and 2 strikes. The other problem with the wind is that since it's blowing from center straight toward us, it's picking up cubicles of dirt and sending them up here. So it's going to be another clean the computer night when we get home. Fritz is ready with the 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2. And don't be surprised, even at 1-2, if Warren takes off for third. Fritz looks over, gets the call, checks her wristband, and is ready to deliver the 1-2 pitch. Off speed, gets Barrett swinging. 1 down. And Warren on second base. That'll bring up the catcher, Rain Wilson.
14, Rain Wilson.
Wilson, the senior who has committed to James Madison University, signing with the Dukes back on National Signing Day in February. And what a season the Dukes are having. First pitch, swinging a ground ball towards second. Steinruck has it, throws it to first. There are 2 down, and Warren advances to third, and that will bring up Taylor Sandiford, the third baseman.
Now batting for the Raiders, number 1, Taylor Sandiford.
So Warren walks, steals second, and gets to third on the Wilson groundout. First pitch is called strike 1. J.R. Tucker and Dinwiddie are playing in what used to be a Conference 20 game. And our buddy Nick Vandelek from the Progress Index has updates on Twitter on that one. If you want to get good updates down to the Tri-Cities, you should follow him like we do at Nick Vandel PI. That's Nickvandel PI. PI, of course, standing for the Progress Index, the newspaper of record down in the Tri-Cities. 1-1 pitch fouled toward the Atlee dugout, and Sandiford, who is headed to Randolph-Macon, is behind in the count 1-2. And the young Yellow Jackets are having a fantastic season. They had a tough loss yesterday in game 1 of their doubleheader at Roanoke, but they're 24-8, and they're 7-3, tied for second in the ODAC with 2 weeks left in the regular season. Fritz is ready, and here comes the 1-2. Swinging a foul down the right field line, and Sandiford will stay alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Deep Run and Atlee and JV Boys Lacrosse is also going on across the way. Unfortunately, the scoreboard not working. Otherwise, we'd give you an update. Fritz is ready, trying to get out of this inning. Warren at third, 1-2 pitch, swinging a tap foul back to the screen. And we'll try it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. St. George, designated player tonight. She's on deck should the inning continue. Sandiford trying to bring Warren home. 1-2 with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Low And a nice stop by Brummett on one hop to make sure it didn't get behind her, because Warren will head for home on just about anything. 2-2, the count. Sandiford steps back in. Fritz checks the wristband, toes the rubber, and here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a pop-up behind first base in foul territory, and will be just out of play. And good job by Taylor Sandiford to stay alive here in this at-bat. Trying to make contact, make something happen, and get Kelly Warren home for the first run of the night. Atlee has gone scoreless in their last 9 2/3 innings. 2-2. Ground ball toward third. Picks up, throw to first to Goldman, retires the side. So Warren is stranded at third base, and we end an inning of play tonight here on Game 1 of Softball Week on the Game of the Week. Number 6, Glen Allen, nothing. Number 2, Atlee, nothing. You hear the wind just a howling. And again, we apologize for the noise that it's making, but not a whole lot we can do. Very few schools in the area have an indoor facility for the official scorer and for the PA announcer in softball. Most of them are raised platforms behind home plate, but they are outdoors, including here at Atlee, and one much higher up in the air at Lee Davis, where we're scheduled to be in 24 hours. Lord willing, if it don't rain too much early tomorrow morning. So we start the second inning, and the Jags bring up the 5, 6, 7 in their order, and that begins with the first baseman, Lauren Goldman. Moss is ready. The first pitch is high for ball 1. Moss gets the signal. 1-0 delivery, gets away from her, and it's inside, and the count quickly at 2-0. Glen Allen had one runner in the first inning, stranded at second. Next pitch, lined into right center field, and that falls for a hit, and it's going to go in the gap and all the way to the wall. O'Flaherty goes to get it, and Goldman is in with a stand-up double. So the leadoff stand-up double into the gap in right center field.
Now batting for Glen Allen, number 12, Ashley Wilson.
And that will bring up the right fielder, Ashley Wilson. The second runner in scoring position in this young game. First pitch, swing and a miss, and Wilson behind 0-1. Steinruck singled with one out in the first and then traded positions. Cammie Brummett did with her on a little pop behind the pitching circle that Barrett got on a hop and threw the force at second. Next pitch, trying to bunt, and it's fouled back to the screen. And the count's 0-2, and that'll probably take the bunting option away, as head coach Lane Knuckles, coaching at third base, gives the signal to Wilson. Brummett ended up stranded at second base, and now Goldman is there with the leadoff stand-up double in the right center. Here comes the 0-2. Outside, and the count's 1-2. Trying to see if they could get Wilson to take the bait, and she would not. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brittany Street, the third baseman, is on deck for Glen Allen. Next pitch, pop just foul behind us, and we'll stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Glen Allen nothing, Atlee nothing, top of the second, nobody out. And Goldman, the runner at second base. Moss's next pitch, tapped foul, just staying alive. Wilson gets a piece. And we'll try it again at 1-2. Interesting. It's number 2 versus number 6 here in softball, but you reverse the teams, and it's 2 versus 6 in baseball at the top of the hour. The Jags, the number 2 team in our top 10, and the Raiders entering in at number 6. Winners, as we mentioned, of 8 out of their last 9. That game of 45 minutes from first pitch. Moss is ready. The delivery, swinging another foul. Wilson just staying alive. And we remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sandiford last half inning. Wilson this half inning. Doing a good job staying alive, making Moss eat up some pitches. 1-2 again. Inside, and we go 2 balls and 2 strikes. Moss just missing inside. And the count at 2-2 as the wind continues to howl out of center field. 2-2, swing and a miss, and Wilson goes down.
Now batting number 19, Brittany Street.
Second strikeout of the evening for Laura Kate Moss. 1 away here in the top of the second, and the third baseman, Brittany Street, to the plate. And Goldman, your runner at second base. First pitch, swing and a miss, and the count is 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Goldman awaits at second base. Street is ready. Moss fires, swing and a miss. And quickly it's 0-2 on the third baseman, Brittany Street. Oh and 2. And here it comes. Foul back here to the screen. You heard it slam the pole, and we stay at 0-2. Katie Hedrick, the left fielder, is on deck for the Jags. Moss is ready. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Make it strikeout number 3 for Laura Kate Moss. And after the leadoff double by Goldman, 2 consecutive Ks, that brings up Katie Hedrick to the plate. And now got to get a hit to keep the inning alive, or they may strand a runner at second for the second consecutive inning. The first pitch misses a bit high and inside for ball 1. One and 0 the count with 2 out here in the top of the second. Moss is ready and delivers. Misses again high. And the count 2-0 on Katie Hedrick. Should the inning continue, the number 9 hitter, the center fielder, Ashley Haley, on deck for Glen Allen. Moss is set. Here comes the 2-0 pitch, and it hits the inside corner for strike 1. Goldman's hit into the gap. She hit it, started going towards center, just right of second base, and then the wind grabbed it and took it over to the gap at the wall. 2-1 pitch. Tapper down the third base line, and it's foul. And we are even at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the top of the second. Still no score. Wilson and Moss have a very brief conversation. Wilson returns behind the plate. Moss returns to the circle. And we get set for the 2-2 pitch with 2 out to Hedrick. High. We'll go full at 3-2, and with 2 out, Goldman will take off from first base. 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for the Raiders' bottom of the second. Here comes the payoff. On the inside corner for strike 3. Hedrick thought it was going to be inside for ball 4. Moss nips the corner ever so slightly, gets the call, and 3 strikeouts after the leadoff double. And no damage here in the top of the second for the Jags. We'll go bottom 2, and the Raiders come to bat, still no score. So Goldman is stranded at second base. And we'll go to the bottom of the second inning, scoreless. the Raiders, it's a little unusual to say that they're scoreless in their last 10 innings, but you go back to the Lee Davis loss on Friday night where it was 2-0 at 9. Now we add an inning here this evening, and the Raiders here on their home field trying to get somebody in. St. George to the plate. First pitch by Fritz right across the plate at the knees for strike one. 0-1 the count. St. George, Fadil, Moss, your scheduled hitters here in the bottom of the second inning. Next pitch from Fritz. Hits the outside corner, and the lefty is ahead of St. George at 0-2. Got an update from down at number 10, Dinwiddie. We'll share that with you in a moment. 0-2 pitch. Shot down to the first baseman, Goldman. One hopper. She grabs it, turns around, touches first, and St. George is retired.
To the plate for the Raiders, number 2, Valerie Fadil.
Fadil will come to the plate, the first baseman. Number 10, Dinwiddie, has jumped out to a 3-0 lead over J.R. Tucker after an inning, courtesy of Nick Vandelek down at the Progress Index. Dinwiddie entering our poll for the first time yesterday. First pitch, Fritz nicks that outside corner again for strike one. And Julia looking strong here early on tonight. Again, pitched pretty well in that one loss, and that was to Lee Davis at home back on March 24th. 0-1 pitch, tapped foul to the Atlee dugout, and Fadil's down 0-2. It was Jordan Tremieux, who wasn't even in the starting lineup when Lee Davis had their home opener against Deep Run, was hitting well in practice, and head coach Jackie Davis gave her the leadoff spot that night, and she responded with 2 doubles in the 4-1 Lee Davis win. 0-2 pitch. Fly ball, left field line, hooking, and it's out of play. And so the count will remain 0-2. We mentioned we have a new broadcast on the schedule, and when we get to the half-inning break here, we'll talk about it. In light of what happened this Friday night, it was inevitable that we would do this. 0-2 pitch. Misses low, and we are at 1-2. Trying to get that outside corner one more time, and Mallory stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom second. Nobody on, and we're still scoreless. As another big burst of wind comes in, Fritz delivers a tapper foul toward the dugout on the first base home side, and we stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Umpires asking for time as the wind just continues to whip mercilessly from center field right through the infield and here at our broadcast position. 1-2. Tapper toward Fritz. She grabs it, throw to first, and Fadil is retired for the second out of inning number 2. That'll bring up the pitcher, Laura Kate Moss, with 2 out here in the bottom of the second, and the wind now is just rolling, refusing to stop. We estimate the usual wind at about 20 to 25 with gusts. We feel like we've had them up to 40 this afternoon as Fritz misses on the first pitch to Moss for ball 1. And right now we're probably sustained at 25 easily. Have been for about the last 2 minutes. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Moss is now even in the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Should she get aboard O'Flaherty in right field, she gets into the on-deck circle. 1-1 pitch coming. Off speed across there nicely for Julia Fritz, and the count's 1-2. Again, 1-2 we have with Glen Allen here in softball week. Thursday night, they're home to number 5 Clover Hill, and we'll have it for you here at 6 p.m. on the network. Next pitch. Moss checks her swing and stays alive. We're even at 2-2. Two, nobody on, 2 out, bottom second. Fritz delivers, misses outside, and we'll go full at 3-2. Baseball underway across the river in Chester. James River and L.C. Bird, and our buddy Carmody Picks on Twitter tells us the Rapids up early, 2-0 after an inning. Full count delivery. Swing and a miss, and Moss goes down. And we've played 2 tonight, and we are scoreless. 2 innings in the books, and the score, number 6, Glen Allen, nothing, and number 2, Atlee, nothing. So we've been teasing some news for you. Let's give it to you now. News item number 1. Should we rain out tomorrow night? Should we not be able to play at Lee Davis when Mills Godwin is scheduled to come in? We know that the rain is supposed to be over tomorrow evening. The question will be how much rain falls overnight and tomorrow morning, and how the field condition will be by 6 p.m. tomorrow. Now, if we play, we're live tomorrow night with the Eagles and the Confederates here on RVA Sports Network. If we are rained out, we will be broadcasting the Patrick Henry Lee Davis softball game instead on Friday night, and that is a 7 p.m. start here on RVASN. So again, if we play and the rain doesn't bother us tomorrow, Mills Godwin at Lee Davis tomorrow night at 6. If the rain takes that game and moves it and postpones it, then we're doing Patrick Henry Lee Davis Friday night, 7 o'clock start. Note the time difference here on the network. And we didn't get a chance to tell you about the new broadcast just added to the schedule this afternoon, so we'll tease that for the next half inning. As Ashley Haley, the center fielder, steps in, she's the number 9 hitter, and we begin the 3rd inning. Glen Allen and Atlee scoreless. Moss ready, fires high and outside for ball 1. When literally blowing our computer. Up and down goes the laptop. Next pitch misses high, and Fritz is behind. Check that. Moss is behind 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes on the leadoff hitter, Haley. Next pitch in there for strike 1. Haley looks at it all the way, and the count is 2-1. Top of the order, and Maddie Stone on deck for the Jaguars. 2-1 pitch. Inside. And Haley, the number 9 hitter, trying to get aboard to start inning number 3, is ahead in the count 3-1. Moss is ready. She fires. Swing and a fly ball into left field. Satterwhite moves over about 4 steps and makes the catch for out number 1 here in the top of the 3rd inning. So 1 away and nobody on. And that'll bring up the top of the order in the shortstop, Maddie Stone. J.J. Gibbons sighting here. The football standout headed to NC State, coming out to watch Atlee softball. First pitch, grounder down the 3rd baseline, but foul. And Stone's behind in the count 0-1. Again, baseball action, James River 2. And LC Bird nothing after 1. Next pitch, another line shot, but foul down the 3rd baseline. And quickly, the count is 0-2. Moss has 4 strikeouts tonight, 1 in the 1st, and after giving up a leadoff double in the 2nd, she struck out the next 3 batters to Strand Goldman at 2nd base. Julia Fritz has 1 K and a big one at that, back at the end of the last inning. Next pitch, high, and the count at 1-2. Can almost guarantee with Wilson behind the plate, and of course coaches influencing the calls as well on the pitches, that they're going to set up high, outside, something, try to make you chase at 0-2. Next pitch, just tapped foul off of Wilson's mask, and the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. With Steinruck, the 2nd baseman, on deck for the Glen Allen Jaguars. They are 4-1 on this young campaign. Atlee is 5-1. both teams their loss to number 1 Lee Davis. 1-2 pitch. Grabs the outside corner for strike 3. 5th K of the afternoon for Moss, and that'll bring up
Glen Allen, number 11, Cameron Steinruck.
the second baseman, Cameron Steinruck, with 2 out, nobody on. A fly out to left, strikeout, Moss's 5th of the game, and now Steinruck, who singled back in the first inning. First pitch, high for ball 1. As we just passed 6:30, so we started a few minutes before 6, a little over a half hour into the game here in the wind tunnel at Atlee High School. 1-0 pitch. Lined into left field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. A 2-out single for Cameron Steinruck, and she is aboard for the second time in this game. And that's going to bring up Cammie Brummett. We'll have to take a quick pause as Cammie had her
number 17, Cammie Brummett.
Had her catcher's equipment on in case Steinruck did not get on base and the side was retired. So she quickly takes that off and approaches the plate now. 2 out with the runner at first. Jags have had a runner in every inning thus far this evening. First pitch, swing and a miss, and Brummett down 0-1. Moss with the start tonight in the circle for the Raiders of Atlee, who are blessed with 2 number 1 starters and have been since the graduation of Jessica Holty a few years ago. Next pitch, lined into left field, playable for Satterwhite, and she comes over and makes a very nice play near the fair foul line for the 3rd out of the inning. Jaguars will strand another, and we'll go bottom of 3rd. And we're still scoreless. Now, we talked about a moment ago how we were teasing you about the new broadcast. Let's get a real quick tweet out here. Atlee coming to bat, bottom of the 3rd in a scoreless game. We're happy to tell you that Atlee Lee Davis softball, the rematch, will be broadcast live on the RVA Sports Network. We sealed the deal late this afternoon. Thanks to Trip Metzger, the AD over at Lee Davis, for the help. April 29th, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, we will have Atlee Lee Davis round 2 here live on the RVA Sports Network. We'll go over our current schedule with you once this 3rd inning is complete. Remember, you can always see the entire broadcast schedule on the right-hand side of the page at our home network website, rvasportsnetwork.com, and on our family of county-centric websites, including HanoverCountySports.net and HenricoCountySports.net. So 2 weeks from Friday night, Atlee Lee Davis, round 2, and we'll have it for you right here on the network.
Number 6, Aaron O'Flaherty.
Rop with them along with you. Bottom of the 3rd, ready to get underway. It'll be O'Flaherty, Durbin, and the top of the order, Kelly Warren for the Raiders. And it's 0-0 as Fritz's first pitch misses low for ball 1. Raiders now looking for a run after being scoreless here at home in their last 11 innings. 1-0. Back to the mound. Fritz knocks it down with the glove, hurries out of the circle, grabs it, throws it to first for the first out of inning number 3 here for Atlee. And that'll bring up second baseman Jordan Durbin. Durbin and O'Flaherty ran into each other on a play on Friday night. And they attended to Durbin briefly, and she was okay. She dusted herself off and went right back to work at second base. First pitch misses low for ball 1. Second base was the one place where the Raiders, who of course last year won the 5A state championship, lost a starter to graduation. That, of course, was Anna Marie Worley. Next pitch, right back to Fritz, off her glove to the second baseman. Quick throw to first, and they get Durbin, and it's 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning. Steinruck with a nice play as the ball caromed off the glove of Julia Fritz. Worley now playing down at Darlington Tech Community College in South Carolina. They're fighting Richard Bland College in Division 10 in the NJCAA this season. First pitch to Warren, outside corner for strike one as she shows bunt. And Worley, at last check, was hitting .458 in her freshman season of college. 0-1 pitch. That's low, and we're even at 1-1 strike to the leadoff hitter, Kelly Warren. 2 out, nobody on. Here in the bottom of the third in a scoreless game. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Warren is down 1-2 as Fritz got her to chase a pitch that was a little outside. So Warren down in the count 1-2. Don't usually see 2 strikes on Kelly Warren. 1-2 pitch. Tapper toward the mound. Fritz gets it, fires it to first, and Goldman can't get it. Warren's going to head for second. The throw is not in time, and it goes into left field, and there is nobody there. Warren's going to round third and come in to score. And that is why Kelly Warren is so dangerous. The defense knows and respects her speed so much. Fritz, the throw to Goldman, don't think she would have gotten Warren. I think it was a bang-bang play at best, and Goldman just couldn't handle it. Warren, immediately when she saw the ball on the ground, she took off for second, and then Goldman with the error on the throw towards second. First pitch to Barrett is in there for strike one. The outfielders had come in to back up on the play, and the ball just went into left center field behind both the center and the left fielder. And Warren strolled to the plate. Next pitch, Barrett down the right field line. Does it stay fair? No, it's a foul ball. Oh-2 the count on Barrett. And the Raiders, though, in front, 1-0. Tapper towards third. Throw to first, and Barrett is retired. But Kelly Warren makes Glen Allen pay. And we go through 3 innings of play this evening. And your score, Atlee 1 and Glen Allen 0. So to review the play quickly, Warren, the ball goes off of Fritz's glove, kind of a comebacker. She wheels and fires to first. Goldman couldn't handle it. Throw was a bit low but catchable. And as soon as Warren saw the ball out, she headed to second. Goldman grabs it, throws it to second, wide of the second baseman, covering into left center field. And the outfielders who had come in on the play to back her up were caught dead. Warren comes home. And we go to the 4th inning, and the Raiders finally on the scoreboard for the first time in 12 offensive innings.
Leading off for Glen Allen, number 10, Julia Fritz.
And it'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Jags as we start the top of the 4th inning. Rob Witham along with you here live on the RVA Sports Network. First of 3 nights of live broadcasting here on Softball Week 2016. First pitch to Fritz. Swing and fouled right back toward us. And the count is 0-1. Fritz, Goldman, who had the double, back in the second, and Wilson, your scheduled hitters. Here in the top of the 4th as Moss sees something she doesn't like in the circle. Picks it up, tosses it behind her, and now she's ready. 0-1 pitch. High. Wilson, nice job leaping high to grab that one. Wouldn't have mattered. Nobody on base. Leadoff hitter. 1-1 the count. That'll hurt her knees in 20 years, let me tell you. 1-1 pitch. Fritz gets under a low pitch and fouls it out of play down the third base side. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Julia Fritz. Glen Allen now in 5A after spending the last 3 years in 4A since reclassification, or 2 years, I should say. 1-2 pitch. Misses outside, and we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes, and you hear the wind whipping again. Another round of wind coming in directly from center field. Somebody hits a home run tonight, I'm going to be unbelievably impressed. 2 ball, 2 strike pitch coming. Fritz checks the swing, and it's high, and we go full at 3-2. At least one of the smaller fields in the area. It's not as cavernous as like Lee Davis, for example. But tonight's win is going to make it almost, I think, impossible to hit one out of here. We'll wait and see. Next pitch to Fritz. Ground ball to short. Barrett on 2 hops. Throws it to first, and by a half a step, Fritz is retired for out number 1. 1 away, top of the 4th.
Now batting for Glen Allen, number 20, Lauren Goldman.
And that'll bring up the first baseman, Lauren Goldman, who had the double into the gap in right center field to start inning number 2. Atlee 1, Glen Allen nothing. Top of the 4th with 1 out and nobody on. First pitch high and outside for ball 1. Three hits tonight for Glen Allen, 2 singles from Steinruck, and the double by Goldman we mentioned a moment ago. Next pitch is low, and Moss behind the count 2-0. Atlee tangles with number 5 and currently unbeaten Hanover coming up on Friday night. 2-0 pitch. Pop up behind first base. Fadil going for it, and she'll make the catch in foul ground for the second out of the inning. Nice job by Mallory to get the pop out in foul territory. 2 out, nobody on.
Ashley Wilson.
And that'll bring up Ashley Wilson, who struck out back in the second inning. Moss with 5 on the night. First pitch misses low for ball 1. Friday night, we mentioned that if our broadcast tomorrow night is rained out, we will broadcast the Patrick Henry Lee Davis softball game at 7 p.m. Friday. Our Taylor Luck at Taylor RVASN on Twitter will be at the Atlee Hanover game. And so we'll have you covered again on rivalry night this Friday night. Taylor and yours truly. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. What just an insane night it was back on Friday night with the Atlee Lee Davis 1 versus 2 showdown going 9 innings. And at the same time, number 5 Hanover and number 7 Patrick Henry went 9 innings. Next pitch gets the inside corner, and Wilson is down 1-2. And then Atlee and Lee Davis baseball decided to go 9 innings. We'll have an interesting perspective on that in this week's next edition of the Herald Progress. Next pitch, Wilson checks, and it's high, 2-2. If you want to know just how it was to be here at Atlee or over at Hanover last Friday night, get the Herald Progress coming out Thursday morning. 2-2 pitch. Low. We go full at 3-2. We're going to take you on a 3-hour, 45-minute journey in one article to talk about everything that happened on a crazy Friday night here in Hanover County. Payoff pitch coming. Here it is. And she's going to lose her. Ball 4, and Wilson aboard with a 2-out walk.
Now stepping to the plate, number 19, Brittany Street.
Jaguars have had a base runner in every inning so far this evening, but have yet to be able to plate one, and they're down 1-0 now. 2 away. Brittany Street, the third baseman, first pitch swing and a miss, strike 1. Oh, 1, Street back in. Moss delivers. Tap foul back here to the fence, and quickly Street down 0-2 with Wilson aboard on the walk at first base. 2 out, top of the fourth. Atlee 1, Glen Allen nothing. 15 minutes away from baseball, starting just behind us and to our left. Moss fires, trying to nip the corner and will not. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Street. We'll also have an article on tonight's softball game here between Atlee and Glen Allen coming Thursday morning in the brand new edition of the Herald Progress. 1-2. Tap foul, just barely staying alive as Street at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Deep Run Henrico baseball is underway. And our buddy Doug Hines reports Deep Run and Henrico tied at 3 after 2 innings of play tonight. Moss is ready for the 1-2 pitch with 2 out. Got her. At the knees for strike 3. Moss's 6th strikeout of the night. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still 1-0 Atlee. Middle of the 4th. And Atlee leads 1-0 in a battle of the number 2 and number 6 teams here in our RVA Sports Network top 10 softball poll. And right across the way, number 2 Glen Allen and number 6 Atlee baseball, a little under 15 minutes away from starting. If you missed it, they come out each Sunday through the regular season. The new RVA Sports Network baseball and softball top 10 polls right now posted. Just go to RVASportsNetwork.com, and they are released on Twitter every Sunday evening now through the end of the regular season. So we get set for the bottom of the 4th, and Rain Wilson will lead things off for Atlee.
Leading off for the Raiders, number 14, Rain Wilson.
It will be Wilson, Sandiford, St. George. 3, 4, 5 hitters. Heart of the order for the Raiders as the wind continues to howl out of center. Fritz, first pitch. Low for ball 1. Next pitch is in for strike 1. Wilson held her swing, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Baseball update, big inning in the 2nd for number 10, James River, to take a 6-1 lead on LC Bird. 1-1 pitch. Misses the outside corner, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Rain Wilson, leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Next pitch. Slammed into center field on 2 hops. It's a base hit. And Wilson is aboard with a leadoff single to center here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Now stepping to the plate for the Raiders, number 1, Taylor Sandiford.
And that'll bring up Taylor Sandiford. Wilson's going, bunt, foul. Back to the screen near the Atlee dugout, and the count is 0-1. Fritz looks for the sign from the coach, gets it, steps on the rubber. Next pitch. 1 hopper gets behind Brummett, and Wilson will head into second, standing up on the wild pitch from Fritz. And so the Raiders get a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 4th inning with nobody out, and the count at 1 ball and 1 strike to Taylor Sandiford. You'll recall Wilson was the 3rd baseman her freshman and sophomore seasons. 1-1 pitch. Nice bunt, Fritz grabs it, turns around, throws to Steinruck, covering at first to get the out, but it advances Wilson to third with one away.
Plate number 9, Peyton St. George.
And the reason we talk about that ground ball, St. George, they're going to go home, and they get Wilson. Wilson tries to go home, and Matty Stone fires it home, and Brummett applies the tag. Asking for, not sure if they were asking for word from the other umpire, but I'm not sure how he's even part of the play because the home plate umpire is going to cover the throw at home.
Now batting for the Raiders, number 2, Mallory Fadil.
That'll bring up Fadil. They lose the runner at third, St. George at first, and the first pitch to Fadil is fouled back onto the auxiliary softball field. And the count is 0-1 to the first baseman, Mallory Fadil. Matty Stone, great throw home. Next pitch misses outside for ball 1. Go back and wrap up that earlier story. Sandiford was the one who took over at third when Rain Wilson moved to catcher last year upon the graduation of Cameron Hall. Sandiford had a key role in that championship run last year. Next pitch in the dirt, 2-1. Throw to first, and St. George is back safely. And Fadil is ahead of the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch gets away from Fritz. Big time. Hits the fence, and St. George will easily head to second base on the second wild pitch of the night. Next pitch, liner, and Goldman picks it up off the ground. Nice shot by Fadil, but a better play by Goldman. And that retires the side, and 1 runner left on base. A beautiful snag. The Jaguars will go to the 5th inning. Down just 1-0 here at Atlee. Couple of great defensive plays there prevent the Raiders from scoring, including the throw home to nail Rain Wilson by Matty Stone. It's 1-0 Atlee after 4. Jags mentioned,
number 6, Katie Hedrick.
has had runners on base in all 4 innings so far. 8, 9, 1 hitters to come up this frame. Hedrick, Haley, Stone, the leadoff hitter, scheduled. For the Jags is head coach Lane Knuckles. Urges Hedrick on. Here the leadoff hitter. Top of the 5th, down by 1. First pitch in their inside corner for strike 1. Larkate Moss with 6 strikeouts so far in 4 innings of work this evening. Here comes the 0-1. High, even at 1 ball and 1 strike. The American flag in dead center field getting a huge workout tonight on this wind tunnel of a Monday evening. Next pitch inside corner. And Moss ahead at 1-2. Hedrick frozen right there. One-two pitch, swing and a miss, and it's strikeout number 7 for Laura Kate Moss.
Now batting for Glen Allen, number 3, Ashley Haley.
So Hedrick retired. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Ashley Haley. First pitch just misses inside for ball 1. Baseball final just in. Number 9, Trinity Episcopal has defeated Kinston Forest in private school action this afternoon. 15-5 the final. Trinity number 9 in our baseball top 10. Next pitch, outside corner, nicely done. Even at 1-1 is Moss. On the center fielder, Haley, with Maddie Stone, the leadoff hitter, on deck. Next pitch, line down the third base line, but foul, and it'll curl out of play. And Haley is down 1 ball and 2 strikes. Moss ready. Ahead 1-2 the pitch. Tapper towards second. Picked up by Durbin. The throw in time. And Haley is retired. 2 out here in the top of the 5th inning.
Next up for Glen Allen, number 1, Maddie Stone.
That'll bring up the top of the order in Maddie Stone, who again contributed very well defensively last half inning, as Rain Wilson tried to score from third on the ground ball to short. And Stone threw a perfect strike to Brummett, who applied the tag and retired Wilson at the plate. First pitch inside corner for strike 1. Man, that's nasty. Wilson sets up outside. Moss catches the inside corner. Not much you can do there. 0-1 the count. Next pitch, swing and a miss. And the leadoff hitter, Stone, with 2 out here in the 5th, is down in the count. 0-2. Moss is ready. Fires outside, misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looking for strikeout number 8 tonight. 1-2. Low, and we're even at 2-2. Monacan has defeated Caroline tonight in baseball action. 4-3 is the final score in that game. Conference 20 old matchup. Caroline now in the revamped Conference 19, but both teams still in the 4A East region. Moss ready with the 2-2 delivery. Lined into right, just off the glove of Mallory Fadil at first, and Stone's aboard with a 2-out single. 4th hit of the night for Glen Allen, and their 5th base runner.
Now batting number 11, Cameron Steinruck.
And that'll bring up Cameron Steinruck, and she's got 2 of the hits tonight. 4 hits and a walk. A runner in each of the 5 innings. But they've stranded the first 4. Let's see what they do with the 5th. Steinruck is 2 for 2 with 2 singles tonight. First pitch. Line down the third base line, but foul. Knocking off the fence just past the Glen Allen dugout, and the count is 0-1. Head coaches are meeting at home plate over at baseball, so number 2 Glen Allen and number 6 Atlee will get started just after the 7 o'clock start time. Next pitch, tap foul to the screen, and Steinruck is behind 0-2. As the Jags try to avoid going 5 consecutive innings, leaving someone on base. Oh and 2, 2 out, top of the 5th. Stone at first, pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, but it gets behind Wilson all the way to the backstop. And Steinruck will be aboard with 2 out. And now the Jags have 2 aboard with 2 down.
Now batting number 17, Cammie Brummett.
So 2-out single for Maddie Stone. And Steinruck will reach on the third strike past ball. And the Jaguars have first and second with 2 out, down 1-0, and Brummett at the plate. First pitch. Outside corner, and Cammie down to the count 0-1. Brummett could get a hold of one and get it in the gap, and there's some pretty good room in right center and in left center. Could have ourselves a tie ball game, but the wind is starting to pick up again out of center. 0-1, liner, foul, out of play down the right field line, and we go 0-2 on Brummett. Jags have not had 2 runners aboard all night tonight until now. Oh and 2 the count on Cammie Brummett. Julia Fritz on deck should the inning continue. 0-2 coming. Tap foul to the screen as Wilson set up outside. And the count stays at 0-2. James Rivers 7, LC Bird 1 after 3 innings in baseball tonight across the river. Again, our thanks to our buddy Carmody Picks on Twitter, who keeps us posted on James River baseball all season. Of course, we had them in that 2-1 win over Cosby last Tuesday night here on the Game of the Week. 0-2 pitch coming. Fouled out of play down the right side, and we'll try it again at 0-2. As Amanda Bohannon on foul ball duty gets one, and then that one was hit right beside her, so at least you won't have to travel far for the second one. And they need a couple of balls here in the field of play. Here comes Amanda to save the day. Count still 0-2, 2 out. Stone at second, Steinruck at first, Jaguars down to Atlee 1-0. And with a chance here to score, and we have a time called as one of the assistant Atlee coaches gets another ball in from outside to the home plate umpire. And now we're ready. 0-2, Brummett down, 2 out, 2 on. The pitch. Loped into left center field, base hit. Coming around, Stone will score. Going into third is Steinruck, into second is Brummett, and we're tied at 1-1. Well, we mentioned the fact that there was some opens in both the gaps in left and right center.
Now running number 8, Zatara Jackson.
And Brummett found it.
10, Julia Fritz.
Well over the head of Casey Barrett at short. Courtesy runner is Zatara Jackson. She'll take second in Brummett's place. Steinruck is at third, and Fritz up with a chance to take the lead. First pitch, high for ball 1. Next pitch, outside and high. 2-0 the count. Moss delivers, swing and a miss. Fritz still ahead of the count, 0-2. Big at-bat here. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a tapper foul, and now we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And right now, Moss just trying to get out of the inning and keep it tied at 1. That foul ricocheted off of the mask of the umpire, and he's taking a moment to readjust that, make sure he's okay. Even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out. This has been a 2-out rally. Everything has happened here with 2 down in the top of the 5th. Moss fires high, 3-2. Steinruck dives back to third as Wilson feigns a throw down there. Jackson will take off from second. Steinruck will take off from third with 2 out. top of the fifth, and a 1-1 tie. Payoff pitch now. High for ball 4. And the bases are loaded for Lauren Goldman.
Now batting for Glen Allen, number 20, Lauren Goldman.
Well, here we go. It's set up right now as Goldman, who had a double to lead off the second into the gap in right center, is to the plate, and the bases are filled with Jaguars. And Coach Tom McIntyre is going to head to the circle and talk to Laura Kate. And they are going to make a pitching change. And Peyton St. George is going to come in. So the walk to Fritz loads the bases. And Atlee goes to the bullpen. Two out, top of the fifth. Peyton St. George, the junior right-hander, who started tonight as the designated player, will now step into the circle in relief of Laura Kate Moss. And the Jaguars with an opportunity right here to take the lead for the first time tonight. As we do a quick reminder to everyone on Twitter that they can be listening right now to our first of 3 games of the week here on Softball Week on the RVA Sports Network, and a critical juncture, top 5. Goldman to bat, 2 out, bases loaded, and St. George now in relief of Moss. First pitch, inside corner for strike 1. Goldman was taking all the way. 0-1 the count. Baseball just getting underway. About 10 minutes after 7. Next pitch from St. George, swing and a miss, and Goldman is down 0-2. Next pitch, foul back behind us. And it'll stay at no balls and 2 strikes with the bases loaded and 2 out for the Jaguars. They've got 1 in this inning to tie it at 1. 0-2. Misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And again, it all happened with 2 out. Single off the first baseman's glove. We've had a 3rd strike, passed ball that got a runner aboard. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Goldman goes down. So St. George gets the K. Jaguars leave the bases loaded.
If I could take this time to recognize our guys in the field in blue.
Middle of the 5th inning we are.
Field lines, we have veteran Jerry Stone. Down the left field line, another veteran, Michael Farah.
And we're tied at 1.
Another veteran as well, Eddie Small. I believe we're close to 200 years, maybe in age, if we add it up, close. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's a brand new ball game. Now, Glen Allen, yes, the half-empty side is going to say, man, we left the bases loaded, and that's absolutely true. The half-full side has to say, hey, look, it was 2 outs and nobody on, and we ended up scratching for 1. And we're right back into this thing. Atlee 1, Glen Allen 1, and the Raiders to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here live on the RVA Sports Network. Mentioned baseball is underway, and we'll keep you posted on that as we can look at the scoreboard as best we can. Glen Allen 1 out, Batting top of the first. Again, baseball just getting started. All right, here we go. Bottom of the fifth, it'll be Moss, O'Flaherty, Durbin. Moss now the designated player as St. George replaces her in the circle. And we have a timeout as a baseball comes over here on the softball field, as is wont to happen from time to time, and doesn't bother Julia Fritz. She grabs it barehandedly in the circle and throws it over to head coach Tom McIntyre of Atlee, and he gets it to someone across the fence to bring it back to the baseball game. First pitch. Beautiful off speed for strike one. Moss, O'Flaherty, Durbin, 7, 8, 9 here in the fifth. 0-1 pitch. Foul down the right field line and out of play. And Fritz ahead of the count, 0-2. Fritz, the ace for the Jags, gone the whole way tonight. 0-2 pitch now. Just high, 1-2. And Atlee scored when Kelly Warren bunted to Fritz. Her throw to Goldman was to her, but a bit low. Goldman couldn't handle it. Warren saw the ball out and flew to second. Goldman's throw there was wide. Next pitch, fly ball, right field line, hooking foul, and Wilson cannot make the play, but it's in foul territory, and we'll try it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And then as soon as Warren realized that the throw was wide at second base and into left center field where there were no outfielders, they had all come in to back up the play at second. Warren just easily raced around third and headed home with the Atlee run. Next pitch misses just low. Oh, Jaguar faithful wanted strike 3 called, and it'll be 2-2 instead. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Misses low, and we go full at 3-2. Fritz smiles at Brummett, turns around, and heads back and gets ready. So, no error on Fritz on that Warren play. It was an infield single. 3-2 pitch. Tap foul, and Moss will stay alive, hitting the back of the screen. The play there was Goldman's error on the throw to second. It sailed into the outfield and allowed Warren to come in to score. Jags respond with a run to the top of the fifth, and we're tied at 1 here, bottom 5. Full count, got her. Outside corner at the knees, and Moss is retired for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Now step into the plate for the Raiders, number 6, Aaron O'Flaherty.
And that'll bring up Aaron O'Flaherty, the right fielder. Fritz's first pitch, bit high, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Fritz sets and delivers. Down the third baseline, foul, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Glen Allen's got 2 top 10 battles this week, and we'll have that next one Thursday night. We'll be at Glen Allen when Clover Hill comes calling, as softball week continues Thursday night at 6 here on the RVA Sports Network. 1-1 pitch down the right field line and out of play. And O'Flaherty down to the count 1-2. And if you missed it a little bit ago, we made the announcement that we will be having the rematch Atlee Davis softball at Lee Davis Friday night, April 29th. We'll have it live here and exclusively on the RVA Sports Network beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern time. 1-2 pitch. Misses low. We're even at 2-2 as Brummett set up on the outside corner. But Fritz missed low. 2-2 the count. On O'Flaherty, 1 out, nobody on. Next pitch. Tapper toward third, just foul. And we'll try it again at 2-2. Jordan Durbin on deck. Nobody on, bottom of the 5th. In a 1-1 tie. Jaguar baseball, they got a runner on second with 2 out. 2-2 pitch here. Misses. O'Flaherty checks her swing nicely, and we're full again at 3-2. Fritz having to earn these outs. Pitch count going up. Julia's a veteran and used to it. Payoff pitch. Missed it. Low, ball 4. And O'Flaherty aboard with a 1-out walk here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Now batting for the Raiders, number 5, Jordan Durbin.
So unless Durbin somehow gets into a double play and ends the inning, that walk will allow Kelly Warren a bat. She's in the on-deck circle. As Fritz toes the rubber in the first pitch to the second baseman. High, ball 1. Jordan Durbin, number 9 hitter in the order. And the second baseman who replaced the lone graduating senior from last year's title team in Anna Marie Worley. 1-0 pitch. Foul, back out of play. And we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Jaguar baseball with a runner now at 3rd and 2 out, top of the 1st. No score. Fritz getting set for the 1-1 delivery to Durbin. Shows bunt, pulls back, called strike 2. And Fritz ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jaguars will strand a runner at 3rd, and Atlee will go to the bottom of the 1st. Scoreless. Next pitch tapped toward 3rd. Going to throw to 2nd. Street gets it there in time, retiring the lead runner. And Durbin is safe at 1st on the fielder's choice.
Now stepping to the plate for the Raiders, center fielder number 3, Kelly Warren.
So with 2 out, Warren the batter. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Durbin will go to 2nd easily with a stolen base as no one was covering 2nd. Brummett popped up to make the throw, and there was no one to throw to. And the veteran wisely pulled back. 0-1 the count on Warren. With 2 out, bottom of the 5th, Atlee in a 1-1 tie with Glen Allen. Next pitch low, and we're even at 1-1. So Glen Allen strands a runner at 3rd in baseball, and they're going bottom of the 1st. Scoreless here at Atlee. Here we're 1-1, bottom of the 5th, 2 out, runner in scoring position. Fritz fires. Misses outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Trying for the little sweeping pitch, the lefty. Trying to grab that outside corner on the left-handed hitter, Warren. 2-1 the count as the wind howls on. Fritz ready, fires. High. 3-1 to Warren. And Casey Barrett, who's kind of overdue for a big hit, is on deck. Fritz is ready, 3-1 pitch, line towards 2nd and right to Steinruck for the 3rd out of the inning. And we've played 5 tonight, and we're all squared. Top 10 softball here on Softball Week after 5 innings of play. The number 6 ranked Jaguars of Glen Allen won. And the number 2 ranked Atlee Raiders won. Raiders strand the runner at 2nd base. We'll go top of 6 here on Game 1 of Softball Week on the Game of the Week here on the RVA Sports Network. Let's quickly run down our broadcast schedule as of now. If we get it in tomorrow night, it'll be number 8 Mills Godwin against number 1 Lee Davis in softball action at 6 p.m. If we don't, we're going to broadcast Friday night's game between Patrick Henry and Lee Davis. That'll be at 7. Thursday night, we're at Glen Allen for number 5 Clover Hill and number 6 Glen Allen. That'll conclude Softball Week. Baseball returns on the RVA Sports Network a week from Friday night when we're at Hanover, number 1 Hanover and number 8 Lee Davis. That's next Friday, April 22nd. That starts at 7. And Friday night, April the 29th, we have the rematch, number 2 Atlee at number 1 Lee Davis softball Friday, April 29th at 7. Our broadcast schedule always posted on the right-hand side of the page at RVASportsNetwork.com. That's where you'll find listen live links for all of our broadcasts as well. First pitch is strike one inside corner for St. George on the leadoff hitter, Ashley Wilson, who has struck out and walked tonight. 0-1 pitch. Tap towards second. Durbin moves toward first. Throw to Fadil, and she's retired for the first out of the inning. St. George in relief of Laura Kate Moss, who went 4 2/3 innings and gave up the lone run. One away, top 6. It brings up Brittany Street. First pitch from Peyton is in the dirt for ball 1. So again, keep up with our broadcast schedule at RVASportsNetwork.com. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. That's where we broadcast all of our games here on RVA Sports Network. 1-0 pitch from St. George coming, swing and a miss, and we're even at 1-1 to Street. If you click subscribe on our YouTube page, all it'll do is every time we post a new video or start a brand new broadcast, you'll get a notification, either email or on your phone, and you'll never miss another live RVA Sports Network broadcast again. Next pitch, Street holds, and it's right in there at the knees for strike 2. 1-2 the count on Brittany Street. 1 out, nobody on, top of the 6th, and a 1-1 tie. St. George ready, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Street's retired. Second K for St. George in relief of Moss, who had 8 strikeouts and 4 2/3 innings, 2 out. And nobody on. But you'll recall it was 2 out and nobody on last inning, and that's when the Jags started their rally and got the tying run. As the number 8 hitter, the left fielder, Katie Hedrick, at the plate. First pitch, inside corner for strike 1. Katie checked her swing, but it didn't matter. No balls, 1 strike, the count. No updated baseball right now. We'll keep you posted on it. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and Hedrick quickly down 0-2 as St. George looks to retire the side. It would be the first inning tonight that Glen Allen would not have a base runner if Hedrick can't get aboard. 0-2. Checked her swing. Did she go? No. High. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Katie Hedrick. Should the inning continue, Ashley Haley, the number 9 hitter and the center fielder, is set on deck. Peyton Dreddy with a 1-2 delivery. Pop up towards short. Casey Barrett underneath it, and right there at the start of the grass, she makes the catch. So for the first time tonight, 1-2-3 go the Jaguars, and we go bottom 6 with Atlee and Glen Allen in a 1-1 tie. So the Raiders, in their last 14 innings here at home, have scored 1 run, and it came on 1 play back in the bottom of the 4th inning. Kelly Warren aboard on an infield single to first. The throw a bit low, but I think it would have been a bit late. And Goldman couldn't quite get it, and it landed just in front of her, but Warren saw the softball on the field and just immediately took off for second. That's her instinct. She has the green light pretty much all the time. The throw from Goldman to second went into left center field, and Warren sped around to score because the outfielders had come in to back up the throw, and nobody was there to get the ball.
Shortstop, number 8, Casey Barrett.
So in 1 play, just a simple grounder back to the circle, Warren scores. Glen Allen answers with a run in the top of the 5th, and we're even at 1-1. Start the bottom of the 6th inning now. Barrett's going to try to bunt her way on. Fritz grabs it, throw to first. Got her. Goldman stretches high to her right, and they nip Barrett by a half step. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Play the catcher, number 14, Rain Wilson.
So Casey trying to surprise him a bit with the bunt. Good job by Fritz to retire her. Wilson gets underneath 1, fly ball left field. Hedrick there, and she'll make the basket catch in left center. And quickly, there are 2 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th inning in a 1-1 tie.
Third baseman number 1, Taylor Sandiford.
And that'll bring up Taylor Sandiford as baseball has completed the 1st inning. No score there. So very quickly, 2 out, nobody on. First pitch to Sandiford, misses for ball 1, outside. Fritz ready. Foul ball, out of play, to our right. Count even at 1-1 with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. And the Jaguars trying to preserve the 1-1 tie. Next pitch, high. And Fritz down to the count to Sandiford at 2-1. Taylor again on her way to Randolph-Macon. Look forward to watching her play in Ashland over the next 4 years. That's a young Yellow Jacket team this year. 2-1 pitch. Misses low. And it's 3-1 to Taylor Sandiford. Yellow Jackets have 2 seniors. Catcher Madison Gilman, center fielder Sierra Ford. Everybody else will come back next year, including their entire pitching staff. 3-1. That's in there for strike 2. Sandiford thought maybe low ball 4, but at the knees, and we're full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count. Here comes the payoff pitch. Down the right field line, hooking, foul. Oh, if that had dropped, that'd have been trouble because the ball was trailing toward the corner. Sandiford will have to refire here at 3-2. Taylor gets on board. St. George is next up. She's in the on-deck circle. 3-2, popped up. Shallow center. Coming in to make the catch is Ashley Haley. And we're through 6 tonight here at Atlee High School. Our score, number 6, Glen Allen, 1. And number 2, Atlee, 1. Got an update from our good friend Betty Sanfilippo. She is at Atlee Deep Run Boys Varsity Lacrosse. Atlee leads Deep Run after 1 quarter, 5-1 tonight. James River in baseball about to complete a win over LC Bird. They're up comfortably. And Glen Allen has just taken a 1-0 lead over in baseball in the top of the 2nd inning. We go to the 7th, tied at 1 here on softball week, night 1. Here on the game of the week, Rob Witham along with you. 9-1-2. It'll be Ashley Haley, who just made the basket catch and centered her in the Atlee 6th inning, to bat first against St. George, who's in relief of Laura Kate Moss, who went 4 2/3 tonight. First pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. And again, Glen Allen takes a 1-0 lead in the top of the 2nd here at Atlee in baseball. St. George ready. 0-1 pitch. Liner down the right field line, but foul. And Haley is down on the count 0-2. St. George ready. Hit. Fly ball. Left field line. Satterwhite goes just past the line and grabs it. Nice catch by Riley for the first out of the 7th inning.
Now batting for Glen Allen, number 1, Maddie Stone.
So it brings up the top of the order, and Maddie Stone. First pitch foul back behind the Atlee fans for strike one. Number 10, James River Baseball defeats LC Bird 14-1 the final. Next pitch, nips that corner nicely, and Peyton's ahead in the count, 0-2. Rapids beat LC Bird in baseball, 14-1 the final. They've won 5 in a row. St. George is high with the next delivery, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. St. George ready, delivers, pop up, shallow right field, playable, and O'Flaherty's there to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Ball carried a little farther than it looked like when it came off of Stone's bat. Maddie Stone has a word for Cameron Steinruck, who's coming to the plate as Stone goes back to the bench. She also has a word with Brummett on deck in case she gets up here in the 7th. First pitch, line towards short. Barrett towards second. Will catch it. Basket catch by Casey. And the side's retired. And we go to the bottom of the 7th in a 1-1 tie. Got a baseball coming in. Lands in the softball infield, and everybody's good. So Atlee in a position that they were in 3 times on Friday night, only it was 0-0 in the 7th and 8th, and then they were down 2-0 in the 9th. And that is with a chance to put the winning run aboard. And they had the winning run in play in innings 7 and 8. And they had a runner in the 9th. But Stonebreaker got her 10th and final strikeout, Kylie Stonebreaker, to preserve the win in 9 innings. What a classic game that was Friday night here at Atlee. Wind wasn't as bad. Temperature was 20 degrees cooler. Glen Allen's going to score again in baseball and take a 2-0 lead.
Number 9, Peyton St. George.
And Peyton St. George at the plate here, so let's put our focus firmly here on softball as night begins to descend on Atlee High School. First pitch to St. George, misses low for ball 1. Atlee needs 1 to win in a 1-1 tie, bottom 7. Fodil on deck, next pitch, in there for strike 1, and we're even at 1-1. Glen Allen leads in baseball now 3-0, top of the 2nd. 1-1 pitch, popped up. It's going to go into left field. Shortstop's going to call everybody off, and Stone will make the grab for the first out of the inning. 1 away here, bottom 7.
Now stepping to the plate for the Raiders, number 2, Mallory Fidel.
Fritz ready, delivers, outside corner for strike 1 on Fidel. So 3-0 Glen Allen in baseball, top of the 2nd. 1-1 tie here, bottom 7. Nobody on, 1 out. Fidel taps it foul down the first base line, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike with Laura Kate Moss on deck. Just a reminder, it was Moss's 3-run hit back in mid-June that secured a state championship for these Raiders. Next one, tap foul down the first base line to the Atlee dugout. And now it's 1-2 on the first baseman, Mallory Fidel. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Fritz ready, fires, misses, and we are even at 2-2. Well, umpire's telling us now it is 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1-2. Here comes the pitch. Swing and just a foul. So it should still stay 1-2 as Fidel barely stayed alive there. Julia Fritz ready, fires outside, and we're even at 2-2. 1-1, bottom 7. Another tight one here in softball at Atlee High School. Fritz the 2-2. Tapper left to the mound. Fritz will grab it and tag Fidel herself for the second out of the inning. 2 down, nobody on.
For the Raiders, number 11, Laura Kate Moss.
And either Laura Kate Moss will end it, extend it, or will go to the 8th and have extra innings for a second consecutive game here at Raider Nation. Fritz fires. Pop foul out of play, strike 1. The wind ever so slightly beginning to change a bit more toward right field than out of straightaway center, starting to blow a little bit left to right. 0-1 pitch. Hits the outside corner, and Fritz is ahead in the count 0-2. We are 1 strike away from free softball tonight. 0-2. Swing and a miss. And we're going extras. After 7, here on the RVA Sports Network, it is number 6, Glen Allen, 1. And number 2, Atlee, 1. So free softball for the second straight trip to Atlee High School here in the last 72 hours. We look over at baseball, and Glen Allen is still batting in the top of the second with the 3-0 lead. Over there, Glen Allen is ranked 2nd. Atlee is ranked 6th. Over here, it's the other way around. Bloop single to right is going to bring in at least 1 more with 2 out. And the Jaguars with a big second inning at baseball. And they have now made it 5-0. As we get set for the 8th here. And Cammie Brummett will lead things off for Glen Allen. St. George fires. Low for ball 1. So Brummett, Fritz, Goldman. Heart of the order. 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Jags here in the top of the 8th. Swing and a ground ball to first base. Fidel turns around, taps first with her left foot, and we have 1 gone here in the top of the 8th inning.
Now batting number 10, Julia Fritz.
And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter and the pitcher, Julia Fritz, with 1 out in a 1-1 tie. St. George ready, fires, tapper toward third, and that's foul. Strike 1 to Julia Fritz. Lauren Goldman, the first baseman, on deck. Glen Allen has now scored 6 in the second. Over at baseball, next pitch high and inside, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. St. George ready. Fritz swing and a miss, and she's behind the count 0-1. Check that, make that 1-2 to Fritz. 1-2 count. St. George delivers. Swing and a miss, and Fritz goes down swinging. 2 away.
Now batting for Glen Allen, number 20, Lauren Goldman.
3 strikeouts for St. George in relief, 11 on the night for the Raiders staff, and Goldman to the plate. First pitch at the knees for strike 1 to the first baseman, Lauren Goldman. St. George ready and fires. Pop up. Second baseman Durbin going for it in shallow right. She'll make the catch. 2 retired the side, so they had the 3, 4, 5 hitters, but they go down in order. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Atlee needs 1 to win. Tell you what, we've seen some pitching, we've seen some defense, and we've seen a couple of untimely errors, in our last 16 and a half innings of softball here over the last 3 nights at Atlee High School. We'll be back here again at least one more time this season. We're working on another softball broadcast for late season. Can't announce it yet. Hope to announce it soon. We're also working on a baseball broadcast at a brand new location that we've never been to before, for baseball, that is. And, of course, we don't announce and put things on our schedule until we have things straight with the ADs at the individual schools. But as soon as we get the green light to let you know about the additions to our broadcast schedule, we'll let you know. We try to keep it fluid so we can give you the best possible matchups before the end of the regular season. Bottom of the 8th, first pitch from Fritz, lined into right field. O'Flaherty hooking foul. Oh, my, that was close. The right fielder, Ashley Wilson, had some trouble with it, and had it landed fair, it could have been extra bases for O'Flaherty. No balls, 1 strike. So you can keep up with our broadcast schedule, of course, always at RVASportsNetwork.com. That's RVASportsNetwork.com. 0-1 pitch in the dirt. 1-1 the count. Baseball final just in 5 innings. It was 3-3 early. Deep Run scores 10 unanswered and defeats Henrico tonight, 13-3. The 1-1 pitch from Fritz in the dirt again, and O'Flaherty is up in the count 2-1. Atlee finally gets out of the inning over at baseball, but find themselves bottom of the 2nd, down 6-0 already. Glen Allen with a huge 2nd inning. 2-1 pitch coming from Fritz. O'Flaherty holds, and it misses. 3-1. As O'Flaherty looks to get on board. And if she gets aboard, she's the winning run. 1-1, bottom of the 8th. 3-1, high. O'Flaherty leads off with the walk.
Now stepping to the plate, number 5, Jordan Durbin.
Time called by Coach McIntyre to go talk to Jordan Durbin. Durbin, the second baseman to the plate. We'll see if they play small ball. First and third think they are. They're creeping up. Durbin squares to bunt. Does so nicely. Fritz will make the play. Out. They throw to second. O'Flaherty doesn't move. And a great sacrifice by Durbin.
Now stepping to the plate for the Raiders, center fielder, number 3, Kelly Warren.
And the top of the order, Kelly Warren. O'Flaherty at second. First pitch to Warren outside corner for strike 1. As the wind whips up another round. 1 out, bottom 8. Atlee trying to end it here. Warren squares to bunt. Strike called on the outside corner, and Kelly is down 0-2 for the 2nd time tonight. And again, we mentioned the first time. That doesn't happen to Warren that often. 0-2 pitch Tap foul down the third baseline. Kelly stays alive at 0-2. O'Flaherty's got some pretty good wheels at second, too. If Warren finds a gap, the game is likely over. Warren ready. Fritz ready. 0-2. Liner right back to Fritz. Throw to second. And the second baseman, Steinruck, had to lift her foot off second to catch the high throw from Fritz, and O'Flaherty gets back safely.
Number 8, Casey Barrett.
So 2 out, bottom 8. And Casey Barrett's got to either get aboard or get a hit to either keep the inning alive or to wrap it up here at 8 innings. O'Flaherty at second, 2 out. First pitch to Casey. Outside corner for strike 1. Casey's body language screamed, I don't agree with that call. But she swings the bat a couple of times and gets back in the batter's box. 0-1 coming from Fritz. Liner into right field. It's a base hit. One hopper. They get it back in safely. The throw to the plate is in time. It's in time to get O'Flaherty. Holy cow, we're going to the 9th. Now, fans, I'm going to be honest with you. It looked to me as if O'Flaherty's leg was underneath and the tag was a hair high. I was ready to call it safe and a win. The umpire punches her out. It's his call. And we go to the 9th, squared away at 1. Holy cow, what a play. So credit the right fielder, Ashley Wilson. Relays it to the second baseman, Steinruck. And they get O'Flaherty at home. And as a captain and a senior will do, Rain Wilson, as she catches the warm-up pitches for Peyton St. George, just looking at her teammates going, calm down. Calm down, guys. Let's do our job. Let's do what we need to do. And we go to the 9th at 1-1. Wow.
Leading off with Glen Allen, number 12, Ashley Wilson.
So fans, I have no dog in this fight whatsoever. But had you asked me for the call, I would have said safe. Because it looked pretty clear that the leg was underneath the tag. Instead, we go to the 9th, and it'll be Wilson to lead it off for the Jags in a 1-1 tie. First pitch. Ball 1, and time called as we have a baseball come into the field of play off a foul ball. So that play, that pitch will not count. This is the first pitch, and it's high for ball 1. And, of course, 9th inning, international rules come into effect, and each team will automatically start with a runner on second base. It's going to be a courtesy runner for Glen Allen. Wilson squares to bunt, takes a strike, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. I believe that's Jackson, the courtesy runner. 1-1, popped in the air. Sandiford gets it for the first out, and the runner has to go back to second. So 1 out, Jackson still at second after the pop bunt out.
Now batting number 19, Brittany Street.
And that'll bring up the third baseman, Brittany Street. 1 away, top 9, 1-1. First pitch at the knees for strike one. St. George, as usual, more often than not, getting ahead in the count early. 0-1 pitch. Outside. Throw down to second. Off the glove of Durbin, but right to Barrett. Jackson back safely. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch. Swing and a miss. Make it 1-2. One-two pitch, swing and a miss, and streak goes down. 2 out and the runner on second.
Now batting for Glen Allen, number 6, Katie Hedrick.
That brings up the left fielder, Katie Hedrick. Atlee has scratched for 1 here in response in the second at baseball. Now 6-1 the score. Raiders still batting. Here, 2 out, top 9. The automatic runner at second still for Glen Allen. And the first pitch is a bunt, foul, back behind Wilson. Another baseball coming on the field, time called. If Hedrick gets aboard, Ashley Haley on deck. Been a long time since I've been to back-to-back 2-hour softball games, but we're close to making that happen. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Make it 0-2. Hedrick down. And the Jags in danger of stranding their automatic runner at second base. 0-2 delivery. Ground ball towards short. Barrett has it, throws it to Fidel for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Jaguars strand their automatic runner at second. International rules again that in the 9th inning and beyond, you get a runner at second to start the inning. And it will be Casey Barrett, I believe, who goes to second. And I believe it'll be Wilson, the 3rd batter in the order, to lead things off. So it's Barrett to second. And Wilson to the plate.
Leading off for the Raiders, your catcher, Rain Wilson.
Wilson to bat in the 1-1 tie. Baseball just went to the 3rd. Atlee gets 1 run back at 6-1 Glen Allen. Fritz to Wilson. Delivers the bunt. It's foul. Stays in the batter's box, and the count is 0-1. Barrett's got some wheels, too. Raiders overall, most of their order, pretty fast team. Comes in handy in a situation like this. Wilson squares to bunt. Just foul. And quickly it's 0-2 on Rain, and I suspect that option is going to go out the window. But Rain, of course, 1 swing and the game could be over. 0-2, Fritz, ready, fires. Lined into right field for the base hit. Wilson gets it to Steinruck. The throw home, not in time. The game is over. And Barrett scores the winning run on the single to right. There was a brief bit of a collision at the plate, and Barrett comes down awkwardly, favoring either her left knee or ankle, one of the two, and hopefully she's okay. She did clang a bit into Brummett at the plate. And Barrett hugs Cammie Brummett, and the handshakes begin. So many of these girls know each other from travel ball for many, many years, play against each other, with each other. What a great game. And Rain Wilson saves the day with the walk-off single to score Barrett. And your final score tonight here, softball week, game 1. Good start to the week, I'd say. In 9 innings, number 2 Atlee, 2. Number 6 Glen Allen, 1. Jaguars are now 4-2 on the season. The Raiders improved to 6-1. Atlee has a trip to Hanover coming up on Friday night. Hanover is unbeaten and currently ranked number 4 in our top 10 poll. They had that come from behind 4-3 9-inning win over number 7 Patrick Henry on Friday night when we were over here with the 1 versus 2 battle between Atlee and Lee Davis. Friday night, if we don't get our game in tomorrow, we'll be at Lee Davis and we'll broadcast the Patrick Henry-Lee Davis game live. Tomorrow night, if we get the weather okay, we're at Lee Davis as number 8 Mills Godwin comes calling. That's our next game on softball week. Tomorrow night at 6, listen live here exclusively on the RVA Sports Network. Number 8 Mills Godwin and number 1 Lee Davis. Want to thank Tom McIntyre, the head coach, Ryan Malloy, the athletic director, for always being so hospitable and allowing us to come in and give you the opportunity to enjoy softball action here live on the RVA Sports Network. Once again, our final score tonight. In 9 innings, number 2 Atlee survives at home against a game effort from number 1 Glen Allen. Final score in 9, Atlee 2 and Glen Allen 1. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We are back live tomorrow night, 6 p.m., weather permitting. Number 8, Mills Godwin, and number 1, Lee Davis. Listen live on our YouTube channel at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. And then we have the Jaguars again Thursday night as softball week continues as they host number 5 Clover Hill. That's a 6 p.m. game on Thursday night here on RVASN. Tonight's coverage of softball, an exclusive presentation of the RVA Sports Network, solely intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any rebroadcast without the express written consent of HCS Media LLC is strictly prohibited. Rob Witham saying thanks for joining us, friends. Great way to start softball week. Atlee wins in 9 innings, 2-1 over Glen Allen. Have a good night.